Welcome back to another day in Standard. The new set, March of the Machine, is out, and we have some of the cards in that set in this here deck right now. And whenever I was first looking at incubators, I wanted to try to incubate in a control build. And that's exactly what we are going to be doing today. First off, standard control stuff right back here. Dissipates, Void Rends, go for Throat, Impulses, Cut Downs, March of Otherworldly Lights, and some Reckoner Bankbusters for card draw, Impulses for card draw, and Memory Deluge. You get it. You get it. Wandering Emperor goes along with that very well. But we are in a position to where we have a very strong exile effect for only 5. So a very cheap exile all creatures card. I love it. You also get to incubate X, where X is the number of exile creatures. Perfect. Really like Sunfall. I think it's going to see a lot of play in this current standard environment. Exile effects are always really good. There are reasons why you would also want to run Farewells, but that is neither here nor there. Exiling graveyards, but we have things that can do that down here with the Unlicensed Hearse. So we're not too worried about that. We just want a very cheap way of exiling all creatures on the field. Pretty nice. I really like this card. I think it's going to have a lot of work in Standard. I don't know how much it will see in Historic, but it will see some work in Standard. We also have a copy of Elesh Norn. Whenever I see this card, I think of a great control piece. It's taxes. You're taxing your opponent for each time they do damage to you. Mono red is going to really struggle against this card. We are only running one source of this in this deck, but that is because I have not yet opened up my March of the Machine packs. We can do that at the end of this video. If you would like to see it, stick around after the matches. We're going to do 2 in best of 3 with this deck, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit. But we have not opened these up, and I will be talking about something I'm going to be doing a little bit later on in the month. I have things in the mail. We'll get to it. But we're going to be opening these bad boys up at the end of this video, so stick around for that as well. But since we haven't opened those yet, we're a little bit light on wild cards. So we are running one copy of Elesh Norn if it does well, or if I think I want to run a couple more for it to actually work. We are going to end up doing that, probably replacing something. I don't even know what to replace yet. We'll see as we go through. And I just think this card is great. And when you sacrifice 3 other creatures and exile this, you get incubate 5 times. Then transform all incubator tokens you control. Then you could create our creature you control gain +1/+1 double strike till the end of turn on chapter 2 once it's flipped. And then chapter 3 is destroy all other permanents except for artifacts, lands, and Phyrexians. It is brutal. And of course we have a Phyrexian with Sheoldred, another Sheoldred card. So when this enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature or planeswalker. Right there, that's good. But for 4 generic, 1 black, you can exile Sheoldred, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. And then on the flip side, the True Scriptures. The True Scriptures, for each opponent, destroy up to 1 target creature or planeswalker that player controls. So you get to kill another thing. Then each opponent discards 3 cards, then mills 3 cards. Then, Chapter 3 is put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. You then exile it, put it back on the field, and it's a 4/5 menace. Again, they have to sacrifice another creature if they have anything on the field at that point. So just brutal card for control. Same with Elesh Norn. And Sunfall, I really love that too. But here's the thing. With Elesh Norn, you're going to need to get some creatures to sacrifice. And if you've noticed, this deck is very low in creatures. So how are we going to get those creatures? Well, we got this Tiller of Flesh here. And this card, I think, is actually good. It's an uncommon, and whenever you cast a spell that targets 1 or more permanents, you incubate 2, which means You get rid of somebody's Reckoner Bankbuster with the Void Rend. Tiller of Flesh creates a 2/2 incubation token. You go for the Throat, incubation token. Cut down, incubation token. March, incubation token. That all creates incubation tokens. It's not going to work with stuff like Depopulate or Sunfall because that doesn't target a specific creature. But we have enough in the early part of the game to create enough of these incubator tokens to probably get some good use out of Elesh Norn outside of just taxing your opponent for attacking you. Red is really going to struggle against this. They run really low amount of lands. Usually they'll have 2 or 3 lands on the board and hope to God. They just hope that they get 3 lands in their opening hand and don't draw any again. That's going to make that hope go away. That's going to make it dissipate. No pun intended. So this is our deck. What we are trying to do is we're going to stall the game long enough to make Elesh Norn flip or Sheoldred flip, especially in creatures decks. We want Sheoldreds. In mono red, we want Elesh Norn as fast as possible so the opponent can't really attack, and to do the regular stuff that these control decks are trying to really do. The only thing we really lack here is a real clearly defined finisher. And that's where this deck is going to need some work. It's going to need a defined finisher. Elesh Norn can be that finisher, but it's tricky to get the 3 creatures you need to sacrifice. Maybe we sacrifice the Samurais from the Wandering Emperor, but I would hate to do that. But in an ideal situation, we want to create these incubator tokens and sacrifice those once we flip them into creatures to add board presence to our state of the game. All right, that's it. What a mouthful that was to say. Thank you for joining today. Make sure that you have liked the video and subscribe to the channel, and let's get in and see how this actually does in action. We are going to opt to play first Esper Control. It has been too long. We don't know exactly what we're facing up against, but this seems slow. I would hate to throw away a hand with Wandering Emperor and a Sheoldred. We do have the 2 sources of black, and Void Rend can be cast, so I think we keep. March of Otherworldly Lights can get us out of trouble if we really need it, but we're going to want to hold on to that for a little while, I think. Mana. Swarm. Okay, I'm not really scared of that at all. So we move on. We drew a Sunfall as well. Sunfall is fantastic. Sheoldred in hand as well. So it looks like March of the Machine is really shining bright right now. Coming out with an Evolved Sleeper. Tis fine. Goes to my turn. We get Bankbuster. Do we want a Bankbuster here, or do we want to try to get rid of his stuff? Well, we had our we had our land drop for turn, but what, we're taking 3 next turn if he pumps the sleeper? That's fine. I will Reckoner Bankbuster, and he spell pierces me. Okay. Okay. Looks like he's the Mire. Should have probably been paying a little bit more attention to that rather than talking too much. Gix is very good. And now we're way behind. Nope, looks like I'm just going to let him draw some cards. We have enough good things in our hand. Hopefully we're drawing mana for the next few turns. Go to my turn. Good deal. It is tapped, but. Go on. Go on with ya. You and all your fancy cards. He's coming in with everything, I would imagine. He does. We will pay. No, we don't want to discard, so we do this instead. Void Rend that. Can't be countered. Gotta let it go, man. Bankbuster. We draw not mana. I just know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that there's a counter spell in his hand. Do we want to try to hit him whenever he's halfway tapped out? Maybe he has something like a Dissipate? We'll pass. Now. We do this now.
Run away. You'll be safer.
We create the 2/2. He can kill the Wandering Emperor fairly quickly, but we want to distract him with the Emperor. At least that's my thinking going into this move right here. Flesh Gorger comes out. Powers up the Bankbuster. Get the Sleeper off the field? Sure. He's going to pump him. Yeah, he wants to kill the 2/2. But once we draw our land, which we will, there it is, we could Sunfall here. Let's see if it gets through. It does. Awesome. We could have probably waited on that, but I'm happy with getting the Incubator token. There's a Flesh Gorger. We do have a Gopher Throat in hand, so no big deal. We'll take the 4 again. Very aggressive opponent. Very tempo-based. Let's see if we can target it. He's mostly tapped out. We don't want him to draw a negate or something. We know he's running counters, so we do it like that. Alright, taps it, draws a card. We're probably going to Impulse here. Yeah, he just goes on my turn. We Impulse. Let's see if he's got the counter. He does not. We go for a Wandering Emperor. And off to my turn. Dissipate. Dissipate is nice indeed. In fact, I think it's so nice that we are going to do nothing this turn. And if we can't get the Dissipate off, we could probably Wandering Emperor. Cycles Raffine's Tower. Really? So he's got white in there, or does he got that in there just to do what he just did? See, Dissipate. That worked out perfectly. Pass. Flip it. And we get mana. Would really like some way to draw cards. We're going to hold the Shelly for now. He's running low on cards himself. So if he plays another creature and we Sheoldred and he sacks it, and then we have a 4/5 on the field, that's pretty good. And this turn we might be able to get, on the opponent's turn, we might be able to get the Wandering Emperor out safely. Cycling more lands. I really wonder if he just has those in there just so he can cycle them away. Crew the Bankbuster. Yeah, baby. Alright, swing. That's it. Let's hope this doesn't get countered. We know he has counters. Make the opponent have the response. Okay. Oh, unless the opponent pays 2, I will pay the 2. Okay, it looks like he just had the Spell Pierce. Exile, Bankbuster. Good stuff. So far we've been able to stick pretty hard in here. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I had to say something, didn't I? How many cards you got in your graveyard? 8 exactly, huh? Sheoldred gets through. He sacks probably this, the pilot. No, he's... Okay, sure. Wait. Non-token creature or planeswalker. All right, so it can't be a token. That's good. Okay, Flesh Gorger comes out. Uh-huh. I'm going to do this. Destroy this. I am sure. But we're going to be really low on life. This is fine. This is fine, I guess. Phyrexian Obliterator. We can deal with it, though. What else? Swings in for 1. We will take the 1. Goes to my turn. We get a Void Rend. Discard 3 cards. Yes. What will we get? Okay, that's going to be very juicy. If this actually works, it is juicy indeed. What's that? 3 and then 0. Okay. We're probably killing everything here. Okay, pass. Swings. Void Rend. Uncounterable. Good. And I think we do this. Pay 0. Confirm. Kill. Uh-huh. Stick around, opponent. The true scriptures. Oh. Oh, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Oh, that is amazing. We didn't get to swing, but we did get to have a little bit of fun. Wow, you got a good deck there, opponent. Mine now. We're going to need more removal for this. I wonder if Mono Black Control is wanting to play Sheoldreds. Probably, actually. We definitely want these in there, right? Yeah. Probably wanting negates. I think these can go away. Tiller of the Flesh. We'll go down to 2 of those. Sometimes trying out some of these cards, it ain't going to hit as hard as you think it will. And down 1 Bankbuster as well. His deck is fairly fast, so... I'm not a huge fan of the hand at all. But we do have an Impulse in hand. We do have Tiller of Flesh in hand. And if worse comes to worse, we could always Sunfall. We did take game 1 here. And we draw an Elesh Norn. So, good keep. Never didn't have it, guys. Surge Engine. All right. Okay. Passes back to the opponent. And he makes it unblockable. Okay. We're going to be taking some damage here. We're going to go ahead and Impulse. And grab a... Go for the Throat doesn't kill that. Maybe we're grabbing it anyway. We take 3. A second Surge Engine. So I think we're trying to build up our mana base for the Sunfall here. Alright. Pump some mana into it. They're both unblockable now. And we're taking 6. It's getting dangerous out there. Getting real dangerous. We're going to impulse. We're going to grab a Depopulate, and we're going to pop this immediately. Yeah, we don't have time to sit around and wait. Okay. We're alive. Kaito.
With the right tools,
Okay.
I can. Now this is a juicy secret.
Kaito's very good. 4 cards in the bin. We do a couple of different things here, right? That's all creatures. We could Elesh Norn. We could also Sheoldred the Apocalypse, but he doesn't have a big enough graveyard to really use Sheoldred well, so we Elesh Norn here.
I know something.
If he
you
puts
don't know.
up to 8 cards in the bin, we're looking good. Nope, alright, that's fair enough. That's too strong to survive. They're really wanting us to play Sheoldred here. Yeah, do we want to, though? Let's lead off with Tiller of Flesh. Alright. Flesh Gorger. That is an artifact, so... Huh.
Now this is a juicy secret.
It's a good one, too. Keep building it up. He's at 7. Come at this. He blocks. He's tapped out. We plus.
Anyone who harms my people must contend. I have got new moves.
Clear
to
the
teach
field and pass back. I love how we didn't see many of these artifacts earlier, and now we see tons of them. He probably has it set up like that on purpose.
Out of my way.
Okay, gets a
I
2/3.
am waiting to start.
That's good.
You
Draws a
deal
card,
this
discards a
annoyance.
card,
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
and now we have 9 cards in the bin. Destroy that. Incubate. Awesome. I love that. I think that's so good. And make the Defiler bigger.
Strike fast and strike
And I
hard.
think we want to deal this so he doesn't emblem. Blue or black card. Yeah, let's not get that emblem. We'll have to deal with that the entire time. Yeah, he is going to get some cards
You're good,
here.
but I'm better.
But we do have Sheoldred. Alright, he sticks with the Soaring. Pluses on the Soaring, and let's see what he can do.
My ways are not
Bankbuster.
for the weak.
Okay. We'll go to my turn, but do I want to flip the incubator token? Probably. It starts to set up for Elesh. Well, Elesh Norn is already in the bin. Move to attacks. And we're going to take these two and go after Soaring here. And takes it out.
What's one more?
Okay, now we're going to flip the Sheoldred. I guess we didn't have to even attack the Soaring because we could have flipped the Sheoldred. New cards, guys. New cards. We are going to create a tutu and drop the Bankbuster. I'm still trying to figure out how best to utilize these new cards, so bit of misplaying there, but overall, we got what we needed done. We've killed the Soaring. We have killed the Kaito Shizuki. We have Wandering Emperor and the True Scriptures on the battlefield. He's going to duress. Well, there goes our Sunfall. But I don't think he's going to build up. He's got his own Sheoldred, and then he scoops it away. Awesome. 2 rounds, 2 victories. And we're back. Esper Control. We are going to opt to play first. So we have to scratch everything we knew about the last guy's deck. It's a whole new player. Elesh Norn, Dissipate, Memory Deluge. Slow. Very slow. I'm going to actually mulligan this. We don't have any interaction with the opponent. We have to wait till turn 4 to drop something. This could be a little bit better. We do have Shelly, but it might actually go to the bottom. Got the Dissipate, Tiller of Flesh, and a March. It's not my favorite hand. I've kept worse, but I've definitely mulliganed hands better than this. And we are dealing with the kind of player that ropes before he plays. So, our opponent time's out. Let's look here. Now, I have kept hands that were worse than this, but I've also gotten rid of hands that were better than this. I think the Tiller of Flesh is better later in games. Sheoldred's definitely better later in games. March is as well. So, this might be an instant loss. And this hand is even worse. Okay. Should have probably kept. But we're going to do it like this. We're going to try. It is game 1. So we don't have to be too super sophisticated with our choices. Mana. Even losing round 1 doesn't really matter in the long scheme of things. Figuring out what the opponent is doing is key in round 1. So we're going to build up our mana base. Opponent is doing about the same. We did draw Memory Deluge, which is great if you mulligan a lot. And wow. Okay. So he probably had an awkward hand as well, I guess. Like, not sure what his whole logic. Roped all the way through. And then, lo and behold, he is out of the first round. Did not take long at all. Maybe we should do something mean on the way back into this match and put in some Disdainful Strokes, but those sometimes miss. He is doing Dimir stuff, so I wonder what March of the Machines has done to Dimir. But since we won round 1, we're just going to go back into it. We're not going to sideboard any pieces or anything like that. We're just going to go back in and try to figure out what the heck this dude is trying to do. Okay, another really bad hand. Wow. Come on, Shuffler. Let's not do this today. We're keeping anyway. 5 lands and an impulse, you know. Call me crazy, I'm going to keep it. Opponent mulls. Again, taking his sweet time. Must not have one of those day job things because, whew, time is precious. Tapped land to start the game. Deserted beach. He throws an island down. We throw a Dark Shores and pass. Looking good. This hand's really kind of pulled itself together a little bit. Okay. Goes my turn. I'm going to impulse before that starts, and we're going to grab. Still have no idea what the opponent is doing, so we're probably just grabbing the go for the throat. And now we have Dissipate up. We also have Void Rend up if it's just something we want to kill when it hits the ground. But our opponent does nothing. Absolutely nothing. Well, he does nothing. I will do nothing. I think me doing nothing is just as good, but he looks like he might be doing Esper as well, so we might be in for a long one, guys. Yep, goes back to my turn, and we will play a Otawara Soaring City. We don't want to do this yet because then we don't have Dissipate, Go for Throat, or Void Rend up. I want to stay ready. Who's more patient? That's really the question. Our opponent has shown himself to be very, very resilient to caring about time, though, so he might be the more patient of us. Bam. And pass turn. So, how's your guys' day going? We might be here for a minute. This might just be who could get all of their lands out of the library first kind of deck. He does have a Plaza of Heroes, though, so we shall see what that's all about. Can I Elesh Norn here and protect it? I can. I have to Dissipate. Maybe we... there's nothing on the field for Elesh Norn to be good, so we're going to Tiller of Flesh here instead. He probably removes it right now. He's excited that he actually has something to do, maybe? Or is he one of those people that keeps... I have 10 drops in my hand. I'm going to keep. Gisa, Glorious Resurrector. It has been a while. Okay. Totally fine. The creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. Go ahead and kill it. We create an incubator token. First one of the round. And the complete slog of the opponent. Starting to drain on me. We'll get through it. Fateful absence. I did not keep my Dissipate up. And he phases it out. That's smart. Think we go with probably nothing here. Right? We do nothing. We say nothing. He gets a Tiller of Flesh on his side. Really smart to slip it out the back. Swings in. We're going to try to Void Rend here. Let's see if this one gets through. And we will negate that slip out the back, or dissipate that slip out the back. He impulses. He's looking for another one. Does he find it? Does he find it? Okay. For a second, I thought that was a legendary. Wait, it is a legendary creature. All right. Well, we know what he's doing now. That's good. Elesh Norn? Or should we just literally just pass back to the opponent and try to find an answer with Memory Deluge? Grabs the incubator token. Swings in with everything. And now we go digging for an answer. We got to depopulate. We got a Sunfall as well. I think we grab both of them. Why don't we grab both? We'll also activate this incubator token just to save ourselves on a little bit of damage. Okay. And we activate this. Draws a card. It is a Bankbuster. It's a good one. Now this costs 4. Let's try to depopulate, and it works. Then we follow up with a Reckoner Bankbuster, and I would say that we are getting pretty far ahead now. Funny trick from the opponent, and he's got another one. We have an answer. Let's see if he has a response. No, he's out of responses. That is good to know. Now we just build up our side of the board. Let's start with the Elesh Norn. Remember, this could still get removed, so maybe we're just going with the Tiller of Flesh to start and passing back. Let's see how much removal he has in here, because he's going to have a lot of removal. That is Lisa. That's a very good card. We're going to have to remove that for sure. He wants to pass back to us. We're going to draw. We do not draw the removal. So we play land, and then we Sunfall. Very dangerous card. Yeah. That's it. Incubator tokens work really well in a mana pass kind of deck. Pass. And we draw. We could even impulse here and dig a little bit deeper. There is a pause here, so he has something he can do, but we apparently will not see it. We Wandering Emperor here. And we will continue our mana pass kind of strategy. Yep. Moving on along. Draws a card. Memory Deluge in exile. Lorn of the Third Path. Man, been seeing a lot of that card in the last couple of days. It's fine. Like, it doesn't bother this deck at all. Okay. Bankbuster. Sacrifice 3 other creatures. Let's now Memory Deluge. Again, the pause from the opponent. It goes through. Another Memory Deluge, which is great, and a Sheoldred the Sheoldred the Apocalypse. What am I thinking? This is a Sheoldred. The real, the OG, the true Sheoldred. Okay, we gotta cast something. Right? Otherwise we just dump a card. Activate this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lands out on field, which is fantastic. Now crew. Tap the pilot. Swing. Okay. Well, that's 100% fine. That's a card out of your hand. And you have 7 in the bin. It's almost time for Sheoldred to do her thing. And she is so good at doing that thing. Just so we don't have to discard, we're going to try to resolve a Sheoldred here. And there we go. We got our counters out of him. With that in mind, 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have any dissipates, so we just let that go. And since he's tapped out, we get the Wandering Emperor down. We minus on it the -1 to get the Vigilant Samurai, and we hold up Cut Down with our treasure. Very interesting. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. Well, there goes all of our tokens. Nice little flash move from the opponent, but he is again tapped out. Maybe an act of desperation, because that doesn't really hurt us that bad.
Let your blade do the talking.
It does slow us down a little bit. We're going to Memory Deluge on the opponent's turn. I do have to say that this guy is really sticking to it. Up goes my turn. Memory Deluge. Counter. Oh, it's a Dissipate too. That's not what we want to see. But we still have 5 cards in hand. We got pressure on the board. Opponent has no pressure. And he's down to 2 cards. I wonder, because I would rather him counter Elesh Norn than Sheoldred at this point. Sheoldred's going to get his Glisa back. What else? Really, that's it. So, because we got a mirror match here,
Guards, to me.
because of the mirror match, it's kind of hard to use Sheoldred effectively, but we're still going to try to get the Gisa, Glorious Resurrector, from the bin. Devious cover-up. And we can do nothing. Okay. But down to one card now. Now, since you countered that, do you have another counter? Nope. Sheoldred gets out. And we end turn. Whether he removes a Sheoldred or not, we still have sufficient control over the battlefield. We have the Sheoldred, we have a couple of things, and there we go. Destroy all creatures. He is still giving it his go, man. Top decking exactly what he needs every single time. Wish I could get that lucky. We're going to plus. Submit 0. And we're going to just pass
We've
back.
got the edge in this fight.
We did run into all of his counters. But you got to get through them. You have to. Yeah, make a samurai. We're going to try it again. We
Keep
still
watch
have
for
board
intruders.
presence. We can protect that Wandering Emperor as well with the Otawara Soaring City. Skybridge Towers, fine. Gets to draw a card. Then he draws another card up to 4 and Lisa. Okay, fine. Lisa's okay. Do you have another counter? Hexproof and indestructible. Okay. Well, we got another card out of his hand. That's just till the end of turn. We could Sunfall on ours. Oh, we could just Void Rend. There. You will run out of stuff eventually. I am not planning on running out of things.
Remember your training.
And First Blood. 20 minutes into the round, First Blood. Well, we got plenty of time left. Otawara. Return that. All right, perfect. Pass, pass. Play the Wandering Emperor. Oh no, don't have another counter, man. Oh, this is the game that never ends. Well, we'll pop him for 3 and pass back. Glisa. Fine. March. He's down to 1 card. We do this now. Submit 0. Kill the Gisa. Gone. And swing in. Down to 11. Pass. Aha. Mana. And he passes. Man. Well, we are building up card advantage. Let's organize this a little bit. We got Otawara and Takenuma. Maybe we're Takenuma this turn and grabbing Sheoldred. That sounds good. Sheoldred's a good card. Yep, we're doing it. Channel the Takenuma. Abandon Mire. We even got a Memory Deluge. Dude, we have enough mana to cast the Memory Deluge. Bankbuster for sure, and a Wandering Emperor. Should have went with the counter spell there, I think. But it's just so nice to just be able to play a bunch of cards at once. Look at how much mana we have. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 mana. It's insane. Okay. Sheoldred. We're going to flip the Sheoldred. Yeah, baby. We have enough mana to play a Sheoldred and flip a Sheoldred. There he is. There he is. He's going to have some sort of response, right? He's had a response for everything so far. Maybe we should pretend to have Dissipate? You know what's funny is I'm almost hoping that he kills a samurai. Oh, you don't want to do that. Okay. Just standard Esper Control player. So boring. Bankbuster. Pass. It goes to my turn. We will try to resolve an Emperor here. It resolves.
Run away.
And we do it again.
Safer.
I haven't seen an Emperor from the opponent.
Let your blade do the talking.
Hullbreaker Horror. That's a good one. That's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. Try to kill it. I will pay 7. Oh, that sucks for you. He did not scoop though.
Show them how we
I'm
treat
impressed.
our enemies.
I am impressed. This traditional Esper player to the bitter end. Uh-huh. He's sticking around, so he has some sort of response to this. We're going to draw. Dissipate. Oh, that is beautiful. Yeah, respond to this. Yeah. Let's see what he does. We have Fatal right here. There it is. And it is a Void Rend, so we can't do anything about that. Cannot dissipate it. But that's why we swing first.
Keep watch for intruders.
Okay, Tiller of Flesh. Then draw. We can do this on our turn. It doesn't matter. We're going to outvalue the opponent, outclass the opponent by a lot. He has 1 card in hand. Now 2 because of the draw. And he depopulates. We dissipate. Haha! Is that match? Is that game? I'm going to give this guy a good game. That was impressive. We're going to swing in. Both of them are fatal. So he has to find a way to deal with both of these with 1 card, and I don't think he can. Yep. All right, and he takes 2. That's game. What a match from the opponent. What a match. But alas, I played 4 rounds. I won 4 rounds with this deck. And these matches take a while, so we're going to go ahead, go to a quick post-game wrap, and then we're going to get right over to those cards. So this deck did really well for us. It was nigh unbeatable in the arena. It's still early on in Mom's rise to power in Standard, but I really like these Creators. Sheoldred did a lot more work for us than Elesh Norn. Elesh Norn probably needs more support from like a wedding announcement or something of the sort that's going to create tokens. She's probably more suited for red, white, black, something like that. But Sheoldred did fantastic in here. We were able to flip Sheoldred quite a few times and get it rolling. Get all those sacrificing of creatures, the milling, the discarding, get it back onto the field. I think that this is going to be a staple of these kind of decks. I was worried that I didn't quite have a good finisher for this, but I don't know. It worked out pretty good for us for a finisher. Once people start to figure out the new meta, the new standard, this is going to change. This is definitely going to change. But I think Sheoldred is has a good chance of being a staple. It is slow, but Esper Control is always slow. As for the other stuff, Elesh Norn, I love the taxing, and I love that it's a 3/5 for 4. I love those things. Mono Red hates this card, but it kind of needs more support in a deck like this. We don't have a lot of ways of getting creatures out. I thought Tiller of the Flesh was going to be better at getting that kind of stuff out, but maybe we're letting more things enter the battlefield and just destroying them once they hit the battlefield. But that is a really dangerous game to play, especially when creatures do things when they enter the battlefield a lot of the time. Sunfall. What did I think about this card? Well, it exiled things. I think that it works against Sheoldred, so maybe we're trying to find another spot for Sunfall, or maybe we're taking Sheoldred out and putting something like a Teferi into the deck. Therefore, and what I mean by Teferi is Temporal Pilgrim into the deck in order to continue to get value off of that. But I really liked Sheoldred in this, so maybe Sunfall goes away and we go with another Depopulate or something like that. Just make sure that we get that value when we can. But overall, I like this. 4-0. 4-0. It did well. I like it. Let's go open some packs. If you're still here, thank you for staying so long. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Now, if you were just here for the deck build, feel free to leave now. But let's open some packs. I will say that I did a poll on the channel and people said they wanted to see a box opening of physical cards. That video is on the way. It is on the way, but I have to get the equipment to do so. You know, the whole camera thing, the lighting, the this, the that. It takes a while to set all that stuff up, but you are not forgotten. We're going to be doing it. Again, it just takes a little while to set up. I will let you guys know a few days before that starts when it's going to happen. But let's start opening these. I do not recommend opening these like this because we want to be doing our events. Inga, Ruin Eyes. I like this card. Enters battlefield, scry 3. When it dies, draw 3 cards. Then when it dies, draw 3 cards if 3 or more creatures died this turn. This is a nice little staple for a lot of decks. Really nice piece. But let's move on. Pile on. I am not sold on this. It's Convoke. It costs 4, and you could get it down to costing 0, but it's just so expensive. Especially with, you get to destroy a creature or planeswalker and surveil too, and you have to tap your creatures to do it. I don't know. It could be a staple. It could be a stinker. It's hard to tell this early on, but I'm not sold on Pile-On quite yet. Okay. Renata. Equal devotion of green. Each creature you control that enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. Like the card, I think it would do really well with some of the synergies, especially in drafts. There's a lot of green cards that rely on 1/1 counters. Green got a lot of support in Standard now. It's really nice. And the Archpriestess of Shadows. Back up 1. When it deals combat damage to a player or battle, return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. This card is probably going to be a staple, especially if you can keep it alive. Especially really nice way to get a Traxa out over and over again. I am dealing with some server issues, but it looks like it has resolved itself now. Okay, some basic stuff over here. We get another Sunfall. That's fantastic. And I crafted 2 Sunfalls, so we got our third. It's not the worst that could happen. And Captain Lannery Storm. I don't know this card. Whenever it attacks, create treasure token. Whenever you sack a treasure, it gets +1/+0. It's okay. It's pretty decent. I like it. I could see this being very stapley, but you can only play this in Historic. It's not the worst thing. We're going to open 15 of these suckers, by the way. All right, we got another Dina, Soul Steeper, and Rampaging Raptor, Trample Haste. Yep. I faced this card. It's pretty decent. 3 to get +2/+0, and when it deals combat damage to a player, deal that much to a Planeswalker or a battle. So you could have battles and just use the Rampaging Raptor and be able to get off as much damage as you really need to. It's pretty nice. You could kill the battle and still do damage to the face, which is why battles are sometimes a little bit weak, you know, because you have to go after the battle rather than dealing damage to the face. And we are into the next pack. Let's see what we get. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Okay, well, we've already got these. This is just bulk now. But we do get to see double. And I'm okay with this card. I am not a big fan of copying spells unless it's something like a Jin-Gitaxias. But creating create a token that's a copy of target creature could be decent. We've seen cards like that before. We've seen effects like that before that are sometimes good, but sometimes not. Especially, there's so many legendary creatures out there right now that I don't know how much play this is going to see. The C double, that is. And let's see what we get for our rare. We got a Rona, Sheoldred's Faithful, which is fine. But we get an Invasion of Ravnica. Exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls that isn't exactly 2 colors. Very strangely worded. But a lot of times you're using these as a sorcery. And then hopefully the flip side is good. Let's look at this one. Whenever you cast a spell that's exactly 2 colors, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may be able to card that's exactly 2. Yep, nope, that's never going to get played by anybody. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's ever going to get played. Cool. And it looks like those server problems are no longer a thing. Cascade spells. You cast mana value 6 or greater have Cascade. Really like that card, but really like that art too. That's really cool. And we do get an Invasion of New Phyrexia. This is a card I'm very excited for because you could cast this, make the knights, and then the next turn you could use those knights to flip it to fairy. Then you could draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards unless you discard a creature card. You get an emblem. Knights are bigger, and then you could -3, tap X on tap creatures, shuffle target non-land permanent and opponent controls with mana value X or less into its owner's hand. This is just as good as exiling that card because who knows where the heck that's going to end up, especially with the shuffler being the way it is. Moving on, Valduk, Keeper of the Flame. Don't know this card. Create a 3/1 red elemental creature token with trample and haste, yada da da da. Okay. Hidatsugu and Carry. This could be good. It is expensive. But you get to draw 3 cards. Then you get to put 2 on top of your library. So you get 1 card. So it replaces itself. Then, after that, you could exile the top card, and opponent loses life equal to the mana value. And if it's an instant or sorcery, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. I can see this being okay, but I can't see this really being that much of a staple. Where 5 of 5/4 flyer is good. The first effect is fantastic. The second effect, however, is asking you to play very large things, and a lot of the times that's going to be a trap. There's a lot of traps in Standard right now that people are playing, like the one enchantment that, it gets, you get an oil counter on it each turn, and then instances and sorceries are one less for each oil counter on it. I think that card's a trap. When it works out, it's fantastic. But you have to remember, people making videos about this stuff are editing, heavily editing to make it seem not terrible. So, yeah, there is that. I try not to do that, by the way. I try to actually play some good rounds, and I'll take out the ones that I was like either mana screwed or the opponent just did nothing or tried to rope too much. But for the most part, my rounds are straight through. Let's see, what is this? Light Shield Array. Okay, what's it do when it enters the battlefield? Look at the target opponent's hand. Exile a non-land card from it. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it. A spell cast this way costs 2 more to cast. So that's kind of good. That's kind of like the Peacekeeper, right? It has the same effect as a Peacekeeper, and you can pop this thing for 3. You put a 1/1 counter on each creature that attacked this turn, which is fine. And then you sack it, and they gain hexproof and indestructible. This is a fine card. I think that it's going to see some play, but I don't see it stabilizing very much. Let's move on. Galta and Mavrin. Perfect. So, I actually got this in the pre-release that I went to. And definitely, I did not put it in the deck because I thought it was just too big. But then I got beat by it. So, there is that. You get to create a tapped and attacking XX green dinosaur creature token with trample, where X is the greatest power among other attacking creatures. And this bad boy has to attack to get that effect. Therefore, it's going to be a 12/12. That's tapped and attacking with trample. So you're swinging in for fatal from your original life total almost immediately. Or you get to create X11 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. It's just insane. This is an insane card. I'm going to be very surprised if it doesn't go in a Convoke deck. Very surprised. We also get Umori the Collector, which is fantastic. Spells you cast of chosen type, any type, we're choosing creatures. And they cost 1 less to cast. It's very good. I actually played this in the pre-release. We're going to keep rolling through him. Finn, the Fang Bearer. Not a big fan of this card. I think it was compensating for no poison for a long time, and they put this guy in, and I'm just not a fan. And then the Impersonator. Yeah, could be big. Could be very, very big. And it has Ward, and Ward 2, so it helps protect it. But easily removed. Doesn't have haste. If this sucker had haste, very, very, very good card. Maybe if you could give it hexproof or something, this card could be very, very playable. Because you get those 2/2 counters, so you're going to have big, big, big boys. Green finally has big boys again. Placid Rottentail. The Judge. And Tribute to the World Tree. This is a very good card. Whenever a creature enters battlefield under your control, draw a card if its power is 3 or greater. Again. Oh, otherwise you put 2/1 counters on it. Again, green getting a lot of early help. Green needed a lot of help. And I think mono green is going to be much better now going forward. I really do. World Tree is a fantastic card. It basically allows you to continue to draw cards. Even if, you are running low on things you could do. And we get Realm Breaker, the Invasion Tree. Okay, this is a good way to get the Praetors out of your library. You get to put them into the battlefield as well. Search your library for any number of Praetor cards. Put them onto the battlefield shuffle. Mana ramp into Realm Breaker, the Invasion Tree, is going to be brutal. And we have an Otawara, first of Lochwain. What? Please pronounce that for me down below. When this or another black creature enters the battlefield under your control, your opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Sacrifice a black creature, draw a card. Pretty self-explanatory. Probably going in a Rakdos build. I don't know. Seems okay. Seems like it's not bad at all. I'm sure there's a way to combo off of that too. And we got a new Jenga Taxis. And this one's the one that Ward 2. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, you draw a card, which is fine. So something where, usually when you draw 3, discard 1. That's usually going to be 3 or greater. This is going to also work with Memory Deluge and stuff like that. It's going to work with a lot of things that are in standard right now. And being able to draw cards in blue is pretty powerful. The Ward 2 makes this a little bit better even. But then, draw cards equal to number cards in your hand. If you have no maximum hand size, as long as you control the Great Synthesis. Then return all non-Phyrexian creatures to their owner's hand. And then he flips back over. Then you do have a maximum hand size. So you have to make sure that your hand is down to 7 at that point. But pretty decent. It's going to probably see some, at least brewing play. People are going to try to make this work, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And the last one that we are going to open for now is going to be, drumroll, Invasion of Ikoria. What a way to end it. Search your library graveyard for a non-human creature with mana value X or less. Put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle. And then, the flip side has reach. For each non-human creature you control, you may have that creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. And whenever you don't think that green has gotten a lot of help in today's standard, well, just look at something like Invasion of Ikoria. We opened up at least 5 or 6 very good green cards that were rare or higher. And this just goes to show that green has gotten a lot of help. All right, so I'm not going to open all of these, mostly because, first off, my voice is raw. I did not mean to open this one, but we'll show it. That's a great way to end it right there. Mythic rare, and good. But I'm not going to be opening all of these because, again, I do want to be drafting, doing limited events to try to unlock cards and then open these a little bit later on down the road whenever I'm, done drafting or sick of the format. Right now, I think it's fun. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to actually be going back and doing that right meow. But I had to open some of these and to let you guys know that a physical card box opening will be happening as soon as the technology is in place to do it, and I figured out how the heck it all works. But if you've stayed this long, really thank you for joining. Make sure that you have liked the video and subscribed to the channel, and we will be coming back at you again with more March of the Machine. See you next time.